All right, as we continue from Mar-a-Lago, my exclusive interview with the 45th president of...
It's Mar-a-Lago, is it not? Is he going to... I mean, do I have to... I mean, like, Trump gives a shit. He's the one who went, it's Nevada. It's not Nevada, it's Nevada. And if you say it wrong, they hate you.
The United States, Donald Trump. I want to know this question. What are your plans to help for 2022? We talked about the House and the states.
Why are you socially distancing from him? You both don't buy this bullshit. You know, you like, they haven't, both of them been vaccinated. Is Sean just using this as an excuse because Trump's breath is rank?
Are you thinking about running again in 2024?
I'm thinking about the amount of money I can make pretending I'm going to run.
And if so?
I'm sorry.
Where are you in
did his eyes get redder during the break?
that process?
We are going to help with the House. I think we have a really good chance. I'm working with everybody, including Kevin McCarthy, on taking back the House.
Everybody?
I think we have a really good chance on doing it.
No.
Likewise, the Senate's going to be a little bit tougher, but the Senate. So I told you that at least 8.
Why? Because you're running against a very popular astronaut, and the only people, king of ventilators. Thanks for seeing that today.
Senators would have lost their race. I could name them, but I don't want to embarrass them. But that includes Mitch, who is heading south. He called me up. He said, I need your help. And I'm very popular in Kentucky. I love Kentucky, and they love me.
No. They have a Democratic governor. If there wasn't shenanigans in that vote, shocking.
And I helped him, and he won by the most he's ever won by. So we are going to help with the Senate.
In defense, he was running in Kentucky against a woman.
And I think we have a good chance.
You got Marco Rubio. I hear Herschel's name mentioned a lot in Georgia. I hear Laura Trump's name mentioned a lot in North Carolina. So
did you see his face? Look at this. When they say Laura Trump.
They mentioned a lot in Georgia.
I think we have a good chance.
You got Marco Rubio. I hear Herschel's name mentioned a lot in Georgia.
Herschel will be great. And then watch this.
I hear Laura Trump's name mentioned a lot in North Carolina.
He suddenly just goes full Jiminy Glick. I'm going to need to see a reel or something.
In New Hampshire.
Seriously. Look at that.
And I think we have a good chance.
You got Marco Rubio. I hear Herschel's name mentioned a lot in Georgia. I hear Laura Trump's name mentioned a lot in North Carolina.
I mean, Laura, if you're watching, there's your campaign ad. Just run that. Just go, Donald Trump. She's got Trump's endorsement. Or does she?
Nunu in New Hampshire. I think he could win that race.
I think so too.
Ron Johnson in Wisconsin.
Ron Johnson's he's been
a great senator.
Oh, yeah. Tell him about Ron Johnson. Of all the senators that spent the 4th of July in Russia in 2018, he's got to be Trump's favorite.
He is much more popular than anybody understands.
We don't.
No, he isn't. He's popular with your guys. His problem is he's running in Wisconsin.
I don't know who's going to run in Ohio, but these are all...
We have some good candidates in Ohio.
So
I think we have a real chance at the Senate. I think we have a really, really good chance.
Well, tell me how far are you willing to go? Are you going to travel? Are you going to do speeches? Are you going to do rallies for these candidates?
If they need a rally, we'll do a rally.
If they'll pay for a rally, we'll do a rally.
We'll do calls. We'll do all sorts of things. We'll
do calls. I'm going to write one of my world famous classy statements that's better than a tweet.
All in. Alabama is going to be a tremendous win with Mo Brooks. We have a tremendous look.
Yeah, it's about time Republicans took Alabama.
Almost everybody I endorse wins.
Almost. Might point to the fact that you only endorse people if other people tell you they're going to win, and occasionally when they don't, you get mad.
We had a House seat in Louisiana, a wonderful woman, it just happened. Her husband died of COVID. He was Congressman-elect, and Julia, she was fantastic, but a lot of people thought she might not get in the runoff. I endorsed her. She got 65% of the vote. There was no runoff. It's very important that we get the right people. And that means in the Senate, it means in the House, and it also means in governorships, because
Mo Brooks.
if you have a good governor,
And legislature, state legislatures.
well, that's so important. You know, the legislatures have.
That's where they're going to fix the voting
We've
issues.
had a lot of great
Yeah, the issues.
legislators. Unfortunately, the courts refuse to listen,
Sean, you walked into this one, man.
even though it's in the Constitution that they have to. The courts have been very, very
HR 1, I argue, usurps the constitutional authority of state legislatures.
Yeah, but that's because you're both morons. I mean, in all fairness, HR 1 does not usurp anything. It sets a standard by which, if you have a certain number of people, you have to provide them with working voting machines equal to the working voting machines of everyone else in the state, that kind of stuff. And you can't stop people, let's say, from handing out water by saying, well, there's a bucket near the door.
Now the big question. Two parts. What do you miss the most about being in the White House?
Not being able to be indicted.
And how seriously are you considering running again in 2024?
Please.
I miss the most helping people because I can directly help people. That's why I did it. Look, this has been a very traumatic. I had a great life. Great company, great business. No problems.
I'm sorry, what?
Traumatic. I had a great life. Great company, great business, no problems.
No problems. No problems. I mean, he obviously had to pay off a porn star so his wife wouldn't find out that he'd been knocking boots with her and another woman, like 5 months after Barron was born, but no problems. That's not point taken, guys. Not a problem.
And now all I do is people go after you. It's vicious. It's horrible. But you know what? I love doing it because I help people. And I've helped them more.
By people, I mean, Konstantin Kalimnik and George Nader.
Than any president, with the cutting of taxes, with the regulations, with right to try.
You're proud
you know
of
how
all
big right to try is?
Huge.
Where you don't have to travel to all sorts of different continents to try and get something. We have the greatest doctors and the greatest labs. We can use their medicines now. If somebody's terminally ill, they can sell.
We've gone through this before. There's a variation of this. It's already been around. He thinks he invented it. It's the same thing as the Choice Act.
Find a quick little document you can use, and that's had a huge thing.
What are you most proud of, though?
My hair.
A lot of things.
Yeah, I'm most proud of a lot of things.
I'm very proud of the tax cuts. I hope they don't screw it up because the jobs. You know, we brought back a record. I think so.
They're going to screw it up. I think so.
We brought back a
Perverton, right? I'm most proud of finally getting a big stash of Pervitin.
record. Well, it's still not going to be as high as it was. You know, it was really 39%.
Right.
So it looks like it could be at 25%. I brought it down to 21. But I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud.
It was 35. He brought it down to 21. It's going to be 28.
Of the, and very importantly, the regulation cuts. I'm very proud of what I did for the military. I've rebuilt the military, and I've added something called Space Force. It's going to
And all it cost was 500,000 American lives.
be so powerful, so important. So I've added another, think of it, I've added to the military. It hasn't happened since, I guess, 75 years, since the Air Force.
And the economy
We've added
pre-COVID.
Space Force.
And the economy pre-COVID. Like, if you don't count the worst mismanagement of a pandemic ever, you were doing great as far as, grinding interest rates to nothing by strong-arming the Fed and then ending up getting us in a recession with a tax cut already on the books and interest rates at 0.25%. And so basically no way to get out of it. You were kind of saved by COVID, if you think about it.
Record low unemployment.
We had the
for every
greatest numbers
demographic.
in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy in history.
No, we didn't. In 1950, what was it, 1952, we had 1.2% unemployment.
World. We had the greatest economy. We had the greatest job numbers. We had the greatest.
No, we didn't.
We're up to 160 million people. We were never even close to that.
Because of volume of people, but not percentage. You don't get credit for people fucking 30 years ago.
And if you think of it, I did it twice because then the whole world went down. We've come back stronger than any other country in the world. You know, they used to hit me with Germany and France and this.
We dumped $6 trillion into our economy in 8 weeks.
But that, well, they're doing terribly right now. They're all locked down. It's a disaster. They're having riots on their streets. This country is...
Yeah, thank God we didn't have any riots here about anything of note.
coming back strong. And it's
No, he doesn't know it. He does not understand math.
very interesting. Places like Florida and Texas.
Where they hid the deaths and where people just froze to death. Ask Ted Cruz about Florida right now.
And many others. I mean, I could name many others.
Yeah, name some other states, please. Try. I'm not going to allow you to count New York and California. Or any of this, or Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, or Pennsylvania. Any of the ones you've been grinding about losing. Name another state.
Others. I think in almost all cases run by Republicans. I think in all cases, but they've done so well. And you look, I saw the other day
At hiding their deaths?
Michigan. I would say there's been nothing as close, other than for her husband, who was, you know, had free run of the place. I don't think that there's been any...
The guy who went out on a fishing boat by himself and didn't violate... What? Didn't...
State more locked up than Michigan.
Are you running again in 2024? What are the odds? If I were to ask...
Oh, it's a long time.
Uh-huh. You're going to be like 80? I mean, I know Trump knows people in their 80s who are sharp as a tack. They're spry, man. He's not, and that's 4 years away.
The odds. What are the odds? Look.
What are the odds? Tell us the odds. You always want to know the odds. Stop bugging me about the odds. The odds is all I hear.
The odds.
I got tremendous.
Listen to these assholes.
A long time. The odds. What are the odds? Look.
I think we have a new drop, CSL.
If I were to
First
ask...
of all, it's a long time. The odds. What are the odds? Look.
The odds.
I got tremendous...
He's mocking him. Hannity's like, the odds, what are the odds?
Yeah.
Numbers. Nobody's ever gotten the numbers I got.
Well, that's true. But nobody's really gotten the numbers that Biden got. And part of the reason why nobody got these kind of numbers before is because we opened it up to mail-in voting and more people were ever to vote.
No sitting presidents come even close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the problem you had was the not sitting president that kicked your sorry ass.
There's more popularity now than there was the day before the election.
Wow, they must have really hated you then.
Because they see how bad things are at the border. They see what's going on. They see that their guns are going to be gone. Their Second Amendment, their taxes are going up. Regulations are going through the roof. Jobs are going to go out.
Why are regulations going through the roof? Honest to God, I don't know I'm not sure what they're talking about. Like, I understand where he's talking about taxes, but he throws in the regulations thing because he was cutting regulations. The Obama administration had a two out, one in regulation rule anyways. This is what I think. I'm dead serious. I think they think the killing of the Keystone XL pipeline was a regulation. Yeah, Biden's at 61% this week.
Well, you see, this is going to take a little while to show.
Yeah. I mean, it probably won't even show until a Republican is president again, in like 4 or 8 years. And then, that's when it'll really go, look how bad it is. This is Biden's fault.
But if they add all these regulations back, the jobs are going to be gone.
What regulations? Name one.
Your energy independence is going to be gone. So
why? What is the energy independent part? You mean, again, Keystone Pipeline? That's Canadian oil.
So I say this. I am looking at it very seriously, beyond seriously.
Beyond What's beyond seriously? I think ridiculous. I think technically speaking, beyond seriously is ridiculous. That's where if ridiculousness has an actual geographic space, it's about 5 miles beyond seriousness. Seriously.
Say this, I am looking at it very seriously, beyond seriously. From a legal standpoint, I don't want to really talk about it yet.
From a legal standpoint, because if I say I'm not, I can't raise money on it, and I'm not going to, so I'm not even wanting to. But if I say that, the super PAC people will leave. That's what he's talking about. That's 100% what he's talking about. He's not running. He's not going to run in 2024. Count on it. He's going to pretend to run for the next 3 years. He's going to do some rallies for 2022 on a couple select cases. There's going to be news stories about how much they had to pay him to do it. They're going to dump money into his super PAC. It's just going to be another way he can siphon money from Republicans. And he's not going to run, and then he's going to not run and keep all the money. So I guess my message is, maggots, Trumpsters, QAnons, everybody who supports this dude, please, please, please continue to send your money to him and not the RNC. Don't send it to individual congresspeople. Don't send it to the the Rhino National Committee at all. No. Send it to Donald John Trump, to the America First PAC, please. And sign up for the monthly or weekly, where it just siphons money right out of your account like that, just on and on and on. Just keep doing it, grind it, because that's the only thing that will save this country. I can't laugh while I'm doing this. It's up to you.
If you did run and did win,
and if we could propel you to the stars just by you eating 9 hot dogs and farting yourself to the moon. Follow me on this. These are all equally plausible.
what would you do differently?
Well, first thing I would do is carpet bomb the New York Times.
When I came in,
So you wouldn't reconsider maybe hiring Paul Manafort?
we were hit with phony Russia investigations. It was a total phony deal.
That was
A total phony deal. This is a grown man.
3 years of your
No,
presidency.
I've been fighting off investigations for 5 years. I mean, really.
I'm sorry. Did we hear Bill Clinton bitch like this? I'm sure there were a couple of moments where he was like, God damn, this sucks. But I don't remember him every time somebody stuck a mic in his face going, you guys owe me 3 more years.
Since almost the day that we came down, and they were corrupt, Democrat-inspired. I still have it. They were Democrat-inspired investigation.
They are, I would say they're inspired. Oh, thank you. Oh, you got a 01 sticker. Excellent. Oh, hey, I know this is totally off topic, but hold on one second. Yeah. One of the folks, thanks. You guys are so sweet. They had a guitar at the rehearsal space tonight, and one of the guys there, it was just sitting over in a corner, and I sat down during a break and started and yeah. Florida man used a salami to stab his neighbor. Florida man is a compulsive masturbator. So, I'll do it. I'll add. I have So, did I have? I thought I had. My pick is in the other room. Oh well. Anyway, so they left. It was at the rehearsal space, and they're like, nobody's. They asked if I'd like to take it with me to play while I was here, and I was like, yeah. So I'm gonna have to record a song while I'm here in town, just because I've got this. And you guys know I play ESP guitars, right? You're aware of this. Well, it's an ESP. It's an LTD acoustic. It's beautiful, and it's a plug-in. So, yeah. If you want to know the truth, they can't hold a candle to the former president who's turned into Florida man. Yeah. So, anyways, it's just a random. It's the. So yeah. So I will be playing with that while I am here in Florida. So that's really lovely. So yeah, we'll do a little. I think that a little mini Al concert would be a lot of fun, actually. So let me slide that down there so it doesn't fall all over the place. And there we go. All right, back to what we were doing. I think I qualify having being called a Renaissance man truly right now simply because I am indeed doing Shakespeare. So I think I need to write a song called "Done Me Wrong." Because I literally have a line in this play in Twelfth Night where I go, "Lady, thou hast done me wrong, notorious wrong." And "Notorious Wrong" is a pretty great name for a song, by the way. Okay, so here we go. Let's finish this nonsense, and then before my iPad dies.
Russia. I remember, Sean, and I don't.
Let me take you back to a little time. You know, a little ditty where I was like, Russia hoax. I never had a free moment to try and do anything. They always went back to Russia, Russia, Russia. Oh, Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, what a hoax, Russia. Let me tell you, I got a little ditty for you called Pity, 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 Me.
Have too much time, I guess, with you, but a story, I think it's interesting.
No, it's not. It isn't. It really isn't. I mean, you might think so, but listen, he's warning him. I don't want to bore you with this, but you probably heard it.
Sean, and I don't have too much time, I guess, with you, but a story, I think it's interesting. I haven't told.
Everyone, by the way, who spends any time with Sean Hannity has too much time with Sean Hannity. I'm just saying for the record.
Told it before. During the campaign in 2016, I'd be asked, like by one of our aides, "Sir, do you have anything to do with Russia?"
Yeah, did they? Is that what they did? They just woke up. There's a person outside, heavy accents from the Russian consulate.
I say, no, that would be it. Then a month later, somebody would say, "What do you know about Russia?" I said, "No, what? I don't know what you're talking about." Okay, I wouldn't think of it. Then after 3 or 4 or 5 times, people would say, "Do you know anything about Russia?" I kept saying, "Huh." So after 3 or 4 times, I said, "What's going on with Russia?"
This is stupid. Really? This is how Russia's a giant country that we were involved in the Cold War with them. They nuclear power. They have loose nukes that might end up in Kazakhstan and Afghanistan. Like somebody goes, "Do you know anything about Russia?" No. Anyways, what was that? Oh yeah, Trump Tower, Dubai. Sir, do you know anything about Russia? No, I was for the Trump Tower, Moscow, though. Make that phone call. Make that happen right after I leave. Okay, good.
They created a phony deal.
A phony deal. This, like, it was a phony deal He's saying phony deal a lot. This seems to be another vocal hitch that's stuck.
It was paid for by Hillary, crooked Hillary
They
Clinton.
made a phony Russian disinformation dossier.
Destroyed.
Whoa.
What do you mean, whoa? You don't whoa the president, when he's on a roll. Whoa? Did he just whoa Donald Trump? Listen to that shit.
With Russia.
And by the way, Fusion GPS made it. Washington Examiner paid for it. Then they didn't want to use it, so they sold it to the Clinton campaign. They said pass. We don't need to do PP tapes. And then Christopher Steele took it to the FBI and John McCain and went like, somebody needs to look at this. This dude's a fucking crook.
Created a phony deal. It was paid for by Hillary, crooked Hillary
They
Clinton.
made a phony Russian disinformation dossier.
Destroyed.
Whoa. And they used it to spy on you as a candidate?
Correct.
Right. Tell me what happened, Sean. Tell me my own truth. I was there, but you saw it better than I did. Oh my God, you're the smartest person ever. Sean Hannity is so smart. I don't know why I'm doing Pete's Batman.
Your transition team, and while you were president, it says
Your transition, I'm sorry, who's in charge of the transition team? Who's Mike Flynn and who else? Paul Manafort and who else?
at the top of a FISA warrant, verified. It was unverifiable, and they knew it.
17 times.
They knew it
17 times. I remember that. That was a number. That was very important.
right from the get-go. They knew it, they were warned beforehand, and they knew it certainly from Christopher Steele and the subsource by January.
It was a total fraud.
Yeah.
It's a total phony deal.
And you know what it did? It hurt any possibility of dealing with Russia. We could have had a good look.
We could have had a good what? Could have had a good what? A good project?
They'll say, "Oh, he loves Russia." Getting along with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing. Getting along with China is a good thing.
No, it's a bad thing. Depending on why you get along with them.
Problem we had with China was COVID, because nobody ever.
No, the problem we had with China was not COVID. It wasn't. When it got here, it was our problem, just like it's the rest of the world's problem.
Took out so much money from China. You know, if you look at China, I was taking tens of billions of dollars of tariffs from China, and our farmers were doing great.
And they devalued their dollars to do it, and you pay directly out of the treasury to the farmers, which is, arguably the closest we've come to all-out socialism in terms of farming in this country's history.
The reason they were doing great was because of the tariffs. I was able to sign a great deal for our farmers. But
no, if it was for the tariffs, then it would have balanced out the cost, and therefore people would have gone and internally bought more of the goods, but they didn't. Even with the tariffs, the Chinese goods that were coming in were so much cheaper that they didn't. The point of a tariff is you want to make it cheaper to buy local, and you didn't. We had to pay that directly to the farmers so they could keep growing because it didn't work.
getting along with these countries, getting along with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. When I came in, President Obama said, and I think this is very public, the biggest problem we have is North Korea. There's going to be a war. There was no war. We got along great.
Obama didn't tell him there's going to be a war. Like they were scheduling one.
Letters, I like him, he likes me. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, there is. He murders his own family members. He sends, like, female assassins to spray poison in his own brother's face. Or uncle or cousin. I don't know quite the whole family tree there. He starves dissidents to death. They have work camps for people that just don't smile at him enough. It's awful to be friends with him. You deal with that human being, but you don't have a good relationship with that asshole. While, by the way, shitting on all of our allies.
I got along great with President Putin. I liked him. He liked me.
Yes, that's a problem. Because he also likes putting bags over people's heads and dragging them out of a building and disappearing them.
That's a good thing, not a bad thing. They made up this phony hoax just recently, which came out 2 days ago, that it was a total phony Russian.
It was a big deal in the campaign.
No, but
Hold on. Sean, stop putting words in his mouth. I want to hear what he actually was talking about. Sean keeps trying to like drive him back towards something that makes some semblance of sense. I want to know what part of this bullshit he's talking about.
You know what it does?
What does it do?
It keeps you away from these countries, from dealing economically. We could have made a lot of money. They have great natural resources.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you haven't lived until you've had a Russian pineapple. What are you talking about?
Could have made a lot of money and done well in jobs and everything else. Getting along with Russia is a good thing. Getting along with these countries is a good thing, not a bad thing.
Why do you grind your teeth right after he says that?
And welcome to Hannity. And tonight we're broadcasting from the always beautiful Maryland.
Really? It just jumps to that? Can't. Ugh, God. No, that's I don't. Those are the only two parts I can see of the whole thing. But you know, I mean, you really can't do much better than this.
Thank you very much. Possible and possibilities. Our hearts and minds to possible and possibilities. And finally, I ask the leaders of the region, political and religious, Israeli and Palestinian, Jewish and Christian and Muslim, to join us in the noble quest for lasting peace. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Israel. God bless the Palestinians. And God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.